We are
Two girls.
on a fast track. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Two Girls on the Fast Track, episode 36. Lynn, how are you doing?
36. Holy
Yay.
jeez. That's almost my age. No.
I love it.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. And today's episode is so exciting
Yes.
because it's all about, what to say or what questions to ask when you're at a networking event. So many times I hear people say, I don't know how to network and it's very uncomfortable
Yeah.
and like don't make me do this. Like it's not, I got to tell you, we all network.
Yeah.
Whether we go to a formal Chamber of Commerce event or a Christmas party or a wedding, we're all like we're sitting at a table with people we don't know or even
Exactly.
people that we do know. It's all about, how do you get to know, how do you deepen the relationships with people? That's how I see it. I don't know about you, Marie, but when I feel a connection to somebody, it does something in my heart. It just feels like, oh, it just feels so nice to connect with somebody. Would you agree?
I love that, especially if I've never met that person before. And if I have this habit, if I see somebody in a networking event by themselves, and it looks like they're busy on their phone, I'm gonna go towards them because I know and I can feel it. It's because it's their first time. They don't know anybody around,
Yeah.
and they're shy or they're too much out of their comfort zone.
Yes, yes. And it's so true, right? And I even catch myself if I'm waiting in a doctor's office or if I'm waiting, right? The first thing that comes out is the phone, right?
Yep.
And it's almost like it's a distraction from what's really going on. And sometimes, when I'm in an airport or when I'm in a hospital or whatever, I force myself to put my phone down and take a look at what's going on around me.
And listen.
Just start listening to what's
Yep.
happening. And I got to say, airports are the best places to watch people, but I digress. We're talking about what questions to ask when you are at a networking event. And these 5 questions will be a wonderful way for you to develop a plan of action when you go somewhere like a networking event. Now, we're talking to the people right now who might be uncomfortable at a networking event. When you have a plan to connect with 1, 2, or even 3 people. 3 is pretty ambitious for somebody
Yes.
who's an introvert, but 1 or 2 people and really get to know them a little bit, maybe over a glass of wine or a cup of coffee or whatever it is, then I promise you it'll make that networking event much easier. For those of us who love networking, it's like, you know what? It's
A walk in the park.
it's no, we're asking these questions anyway.
Yeah.
So the very first question is, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? Right? So if somebody asks me what I do for a living, I'm usually very like impressed because a lot of people spend time talking about themselves and you walk into the conversation and it's about them.
Yep.
And you want you want people to talk about themselves. You don't want to talk about yourself unless you're asked.
Exactly.
And next week, we'll talk about that, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about what to say when somebody asks you, hey, what do you do? Or, maybe ask some of these questions. So, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you like best about what you do? Like, what is it that, wow, you're a chiropractor? Tell me what it is that you love about what you like best about what you do, or why do you love being a chiropractor? And it changes it changes the mood sometimes because we're so used to talking about what we don't like.
Yep.
Right? So asking them something about what they like and what they like best kind of gets them thinking, oh, I really do love what I do, especially if they've had a bad day, right?
Totally. And especially if we all know health and wellness has taken a huge place for the past couple of years. And if they are in that specific industry, there are tons of things that they must like, because
Yes.
the example of a chiropractor, they're going to relieve people from their pain. And I
Oh,
bet this is one of the first thing they're going to say. I like it because I have people, when they leave my office, they're relieved from their pain. I bet it is a good question. What do you like best
yeah.
about what you
Yeah.
do?
What do you do? And what do you like best about what you do? So those are kind of two questions in one. What got you started
Yeah,
in
yeah,
your profession? How did you come across? And I always hear great stories about this, right? And this keeps me riveted because, oh, I never planned to be, in sales. I never planned to be in. I'm like, well, tell me more. Like,
yeah.
how did you actually, come into sales and do what you're doing? And I love hearing that story. So that's another one. What got you started in this profession? Another question that might be off the beaten, like, not really related to their profession is, where else do you network? Like,
Yeah.
where other areas do you network? And, they might be a member of Toastmasters or BNI, or, they might be a Rotarian or part of the Kiwanis. And that might foster other questions like, oh, I've always wanted to know about BNI or Toastmasters. Could you tell me a little bit more about that? So every time, you kind of ask and answer, and notice these questions are open-ended.
Yep.
They're not yes, no. They are questions that require some elaboration. So where else do you usually network? What are some of your biggest challenges? You can be some of your biggest challenges in work, and you might want to say that a little more specifically. Like, what are your biggest challenges in networking? Wow, you know what? There's not a whole lot of places to go here in our area for networking. Or I have a really hard time meeting people. And now you're we love listening for problems, right, Marie?
Yes, we do.
So we listen for problems, or listen to ways that we could potentially help, as as wellness consultants that we are. So what are some of your biggest challenges? So far, what do you do? What do you like best about what you do? What got you started in this profession? Where do you usually network? What are some of your biggest challenges in networking or with your work? Or, geez, Dr. So-and-so, chiropractor, what are some of the biggest challenges in your, at being a chiropractor?
Yeah.
Right? You might be surprised about what
Oh, yes,
they
totally.
tell you, right?
I agree. I agree.
And then the last one, and I think is, really is a way for you to show that you really care. And you only ask this question if you're prepared to follow through.
Exactly. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah,
Of course I know.
Yeah, what is it?
How can I help you?
How can I help you? How can I help? Magic. What are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 magical words? How can I help you?
And like you said, if you don't find a connection between you and the person you talk to, don't ask that question, because if you don't follow up, if you don't, and especially at a networking event like a 5 à 7, there's a short amount of time, and there's, potentially like 25, 30, 40 people there.
Yes.
You're not going to talk to everybody. And some of them you already know because they've been there before. And others, you've never known them. But especially if you ask the question, how can I help you? And you don't follow up, this is not good for your credibility.
No, that's right. That's right. Because chances are you're going to see them again at another networking event.
Yes.
Right. And yeah, for sure. So how can I help you? Magic, magic, magic words. So those are the 5 questions that can be really helpful.
Yeah. And not only in helping in matter of business or getting new customer, it could be about networking. Like you said, what are your challenges when you do networking? What is your biggest fear? Or are you a natural talent for networking? We know we are natural talent for networking.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm an extrovert and you're an introvert. It doesn't have anything to do with that.
No.
It's just to be comfortable, because I know I meet some introvert people and they're awesome networkers.
Yes, yes.
They listen way much more than they talk.
Yes, yes, that's it.
Yes.
That's it. And in this case, that's what we're recommending to you, is listen way more than you talk. Of course, if somebody asks you what you do, right? That like, or one of these questions, then of course you want to answer back with, so tell me more about what you do. Or like just kind of, get them talking about themselves as well, so that you can get to know them. And I promise you, they're going to leave that conversation with a deeper appreciation and respect for you, because all you did was listen actively.
Exactly.
That's all you did. You actively listened, right?
Yeah, and I've been taught that, I think, in my first couple of years in BNI, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you have to use them proportionally.
That's
but
right.
if everybody would to do that, nobody would talk in networking events. So that's why you can initiate the conversation and let them talk. And if you see that they stop talking because they look shy, you can go with another question or ask them, what would you like to know about me? What would you like to know about me? We're meeting here for the first time. And if you feel that a connection, that there's a spark going in and out of you, both of you, follow up, have a coffee, have a virtual meeting if they're not in your area or they're too far. Because I know I've met with tons of people from Quebec City. I'm in Laval. It's 2.5 hours away. I'm not going to go for a coffee.
Yeah, right.
We can meet on Zoom. I mean, like we can meet virtually all the time. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And another thing that they taught us in BNI, when you go to a networking event, I'm sure you're going to remember when I say that, when and how to incorporate yourself in a conversation. If there's 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, the famous circle.
Yes.
If you see 2 people talking face to face, and there's no opening, don't go. It's a serious conversation. And this is body language. This is synergology. If there's a little opening, you can introduce yourself, or you hey, I was hearing what you were saying, and I think that, you can. If there's 3 people and they're a close circle, it's because it's an important conversation. Come back later. If you see an opening, you go. So this is something they taught. François actually taught us because he's a good networking coach. So that's what he taught us as well when you're at a networking event. And we did it. We tried it last week at the new BNI chapter, 5 à 7, and we tried it, and it's true. When you see people face to face, they don't even acknowledge your presence because they're having an important and intimate conversation. Yeah,
for sure.
It's pretty cool. Sure. Pretty cool to know that.
Oh my gosh, I guess so. So at your next networking event, make yourself a plan to meet 1 or 2, or really push yourself to meet 3, depending on how long the networking event is. But meeting 1 new person is amazing. And consider asking those 5 questions. Yes. Right? What it is that you do, what is it that, what do you like best about what you do? What got you started in this profession or this business? Where else do you usually network? What are some of your biggest challenges with networking or with your business or your profession?
And the bonus question is,
how can I help you?
Yes, right? It is.
That's the bonus question.
That's the bonus question, because you have to keep it under your sleeve. You're not sure you're going to use it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Only use it when you know that you can follow through.
So guys, I hope you're going to put that in practice. And if you have some ideas of question, or if you do ask other questions, please comment, subscribe, and click the bell, so you're sure you're not going to miss another upload of our episode, 2 Girls on the Fast Track. And next week, we're going to teach you a little bit on how to present yourself. It could be a elevator pitch, which is like 10 seconds, between the stories of a building in an elevator. It could be 30 seconds presentation, a 1-minute presentation. We'll go through these a little bit more deeply next week. In the meantime, Lynne, you have a quote for us, I presume?
I do. I have a quote. Our quote is, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough people get what they want.
Oh, I love it. Can you say that
right?
again? I
This
want
is
to hear
Zig
it again.
Ziglar. Love Zig Ziglar is
Say it
amazing.
again. I want to hear it again.
Yeah, you betcha. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people to get what they want,
Exactly. It's all
right?
about givers
All about
gain.
helping other people. Yeah, it's all
Yes,
about givers gain. What goes around
totally.
comes around. Yeah, so
Well,
that's
Linda was really awesome. And for you who doesn't know, Lynn is starting a master class soon
yes, it's
in a
coming a
yoga
month.
studio
Yes,
in Sudbury, Ontario. So we
yes.
wish you all the best, and we
Thank
are
you.
looking forward to hear back. It starts soon, right? In the middle of October.
Starts October the 14th and it's Becoming a Brain Warrior. So if you're in person in Sudbury, it's a 6 series masterclass. Um, I really believe that mental illness is a name that needs to go. Like it's
Yep,
not, it's brain health that's directly related to mental health. So we kind of look at that, and we also look at the different systems of the brain that are relevant to mood and to different behaviors.
that's awesome.
In addition to some really good hands-on, little quizzes and stuff like that. So it's lots of interactions, lots of fun. They're 6 2.5 hour sessions, so they're on Saturdays in the afternoon. And I've partnered up with my yoga studio, so we're offering that. Becoming a Brain Warrior. Can't wait!
That's
I'm so
awesome. I
excited.
can't
Yeah,
wait to hear your feedback on that. And
yeah.
how did it go? So we wish you all the best, and you
Thank you.
people who follow you on Facebook, I'm
Yep,
pretty sure you're going to talk about it
you betcha.
as soon as it starts. So thank you very much, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next time. Lynn, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Here we are, two girls on a fast ride.